So in my 20s and 30s, I worked in the entertainment film industry. And in my 20s, I actually wanted to become a feature film writer. But then when I researched how many Asian females were successful, or at least making a living writing for feature film, the number was so tiny. And when I saw that number, I felt so discouraged. I thought that it was going to be like winning the lottery for me to become a successful female Asian writer in the feature film industry. So I actually routed my career in a different direction in the industry. And so when I look back, I have a little regret that it was because of that belief, that limiting belief I had, that I didn't really pursue it. But in a larger context, I have no regrets because I see it as a great life lesson for me. Because truly my soul's path is to do yin and yang living and promote these higher messages. So I really truly believe that I found my true calling, and I know that in the future I will be writing a book at the right time. And so as I'm doing this work of the universal life force energies and how it really reflects our thoughts, I realized that my belief in my 20s that I couldn't be a successful Asian female feature film writer was based on an observation of what is. Currently, what is. That there are so few female Asian writers that are successful. That is what is. And it was based on that observation that I had that limiting belief for myself, rather than saying that, you know what, I have infinite potential. There is infinite possibilities in my life because we are part and parcel of this universal life force energy that creates infinite possibilities. And so I realized that that limiting belief was a result of what I observed rather than the infinite possibilities of my future. So all manifestations in our lives, that is everything that we currently experience in our life, whether it's a health issue or whether it's money abundance or career abundance or relationship abundance, is really a result of our beliefs. It's a result of our consciousness. And I've shown you this chart many, many times that what we see in this physical plane, you know, our bodies, the money that we have in our bank, the home that we live in, the career, the relationships, everything in this physical plane is a result of consciousness. Because in order for the manifestation of this physical plane to take place, it needs information. And so it needs that consciousness. And that consciousness is the intelligent awareness information in this energy field that creates the actual physical manifestation. So therefore, if we believe that we are not abundant, then the physical manifestation is lack of abundance. This is how the universe works. And so in the case of my wanting to become a feature film writer in my 20s, I held this limiting belief that I couldn't become a successful Asian female feature film writer because of the statistics that I saw. It was an observation of what the manifestation currently is. And so I call this the circle of life based on limiting beliefs, is that I brought in a limiting belief and I held on to it based on the observation that there were so few female Asian writers who were making a living in the feature film industry. And because I had that belief, you know, I would say something like this. This would be the story that I would give to myself. I was never able to get that kind of job because I am not smart or good enough. Or I would say something to myself, you know, it's never going to happen because it's like winning the lottery. There are no female Asian writers in the industry, or there may be just two, and my odds are not good because I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough. So I'm holding on to this limiting belief. And as I keep holding on to this limiting belief that I can't do it, then what happens? In a practical sense, I take very little action, or I take no action in pursuing a writing career, right? So I would say something to myself, there's no point in applying for that job, or I will apply, but I don't believe I will get that job, right? So we're taking no action, or we're taking very, very little action based on this limiting belief. And furthermore, the universe, while it's trying to bring us the cooperative components to realize, becoming that writer, we're blocking our energy. So we're not able to receive any of those cooperative components. It's like the window. You know how the light wants to shine in, but we've placed curtains in the window to block the light from shining in. When we have this limiting belief, we're putting up those curtains from having all of the cooperative components, receiving those cooperative components to realize my writing career or whatever dream that you have. It's like we're blocking our energy from receiving those cooperative components. And so then what happens? Well, there is no manifestation. I don't become a writer, right? Because I take very little action, I take no action, and I can't receive those cooperative components from the universe because I've blocked my energy. So the future manifestation is that I never become a writer. And when I never become a writer, I say to myself, see, I was right about myself, that I am not good enough because I didn't get that job. And so now this future manifestation where I don't become a writer is just supporting my limiting belief over here that I had in the first place. So it becomes just this vicious cycle. You're just running around this vicious cycle based on this limiting belief of what you have observed. But the fact is that the universe has infinite possibilities for you, because we are the same energy that created this entire universe. And so when we tune our vibrational energetic frequency to that of what we desire, then we could receive those things that we think are impossible, those things that we think are like winning the lottery. But when we have this limiting belief, we're just going around in this vicious cycle of life circle. This is what we're doing, and we're limiting our lives. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows exactly how to bring you those cooperative components. But we're just blocking our own energy with our limiting beliefs. So my favorite law of attraction teacher, Abraham Hicks, always say that humans are the worst observer. Because as we observe our current situations, for instance, let's say we only have currently $2 in the bank right now. And that's what we keep observing. We keep observing the lack. And so this is called low vibrational lacking energy. We keep observing this, but let's say we want $2 million in the bank, right? And that's infinitely possible because this universe in our lives have infinite potential. But as we observe our current situation that we only have $2 in the bank, we feel that lack of abundance. And that's the vibrational energy that we're signaling out to the universe. So then we cannot receive abundance. If you want to be abundant, you have to feel abundant, because the universe works energetically. It doesn't work based on what you have, because what you have is a vibrational energetic frequency of the past. And this is why Abraham Hicks always say that humans are the worst observers, because we keep observing what is now. We keep observing the lack of money, the lack of health, the lack of relationships. And so we just keep broadcasting that out into the universe. And so the universe just returns that lacking energy back to us. It returns it. And so in order for us to have something different, like let's say we want the $2 million, we have to raise our vibrational frequency and see our future, only focus on the infinite possibility of our future, because our future is infinitely possible. And so as we currently, right here, right now, in the power of now, feel abundant in our money situation, feel abundant in health, feel abundant in career or relationships, we're raising our vibrational frequency to match what we desire. But as long as we keep observing what is, which is that there are no female Asian successful writers in the feature film industry, and as I keep observing that, that's all I keep broadcasting out into the universe. And I'm not raising my vibrational frequency to become that successful writer in the feature film business. So my life will always stay the same. And so this is why Abraham Hicks says that we are the worst observers, because in reality, the universe has infinite possibilities for us. In reality, as we, send a signal out, this universal energetic field is infinite possibilities. This thing could move in any direction, right? Can't you acknowledge that our lives can move in any direction? But how do we direct our life to the direction that we desire? We do it based on our thoughts, based on consciousness, because this infinite possibility zone is being organized based on consciousness, based on information, based on the intelligent awareness that it needs to organize in a certain direction. And our thoughts, our belief is the information that this infinite possibility zone needs to bring the cooperative components. So this is why our beliefs, as Tony Robbins says, will either create or destroy. I love that by Tony Robbins. It's my favorite quote by him. He says, beliefs can either create or destroy. It is all based on your belief. It is infinitely possible to do anything that you desire, what your heart desires. It is the belief, it is the consciousness, it is the information that is either limiting our lives or really allowing our lives to thrive. So each of our consciousness is part and parcel of the collective consciousness, right? So if we have like 7 billion people on this planet, then each of our consciousness is part and parcel of that 7 billion people consciousness. It's the collective consciousness that we are all part of, right? So everything that we see on our planet, whether it's the wars that we have, whether it's our economy, anything that we see that is happening on our planet in a global scale is based on a collective consciousness. And so think about it. If everybody had the consciousness of Mother Teresa, if 7 billion people had the Mother Teresa consciousness, would we ever have wars? No. It's that we have enough of a collective consciousness to have fear of other people that we have wars, right? We have groups of people and large number of people that fear other people, and therefore we have wars. And it's the same with the economy. When we have a recession, it's this collective consciousness that people believe that they have to save money, right? That they cannot spend money when we have a recession. When we have a recession, we are afraid to spend money. We believe that we have to hold on to our money. And so we're perpetuating that recession. It's like this vicious cycle, because if we think and believe that there's a recession, then we hold on to our money. When we feel more confident about the economy, then we spend. It's all based on consciousness. So if you even look at the cycles of our economy, whether it's thriving or whether it's not doing so well, it's a collective consciousness, all based on the individual consciousness. That's why the Buddha says when an individual changes his or her mind, he's changing the world. That's how powerful our individual consciousness is. Because everything that we see on this planet, all the problems or all the love or whatever the issues that we have on this planet is really absolutely a result of the collective consciousness. So in order to break out of this vicious cycle of life based on our limiting beliefs, we have to start changing our limiting beliefs, right? Because those limiting beliefs are really based on what we currently observe. And what we currently observe is based on our consciousness. Our consciousness is what created that manifestation. And then when we observe that manifestation, then we hold on to these limiting beliefs. So the way to break free from this vicious cycle of limiting belief is to really just envision the future that you desire and focus your mind and your energy in just what you desire. What you desire, you focus. That's why people do lots of visualizations and meditations and mantras and chants, is to focus on only the things that you desire so you could change your limiting beliefs to beliefs that serve you, and then you can break out of this vicious circle of life based on limiting beliefs, and you can start to then shift your energy. You're starting to shift your energy in a new direction, and then you're going to start seeing how these cooperative components are starting to appear in your life in the direction that you want. But we cannot change our lives, shift that energy, until we start releasing these limiting beliefs that do not serve us. This is what is holding us back, are these limiting beliefs. And so once we start shifting our beliefs and then shifting our energy and broadcasting a new vibrational frequency out into the universe, now we're receiving the cooperative components. So it's about releasing limiting beliefs that do not serve us and then bringing in beliefs that serve us to shift that energy, and then we will receive the cooperative components to support our new belief. And that's the only way to do it. And this takes a lot of mind training. That's why people mantra, visualize, meditate, chant, because they're trying to shift their mind in order to shift that energy. And that's how we can start to break out of this circle of life of limiting beliefs. So I'm not saying that past experiences are not valuable, because if we want to be a great doctor, great lawyer, great engineer, great CPA, great teacher, great writer, great entrepreneur, those past experiences that we have are absolutely valuable to be able to grow and expand, right? To become a better professional or to become a better person, right? So I'm not saying that past experiences are not valuable. What I'm saying is that if we have limiting beliefs based on those past experiences, like I had a limiting belief based on the manifestation, the experience that there are very few Asian female writers that are successful in feature film. And then from that, I had this limiting belief that I cannot become this writer. Then that is really hurting me, because now I'm excluding all other possibilities. By holding on to that limiting belief so strongly, I have now excluded all this other possibility in my life, because our lives truly have infinite potential and possibility, right? Now, if I take those past experiences and learn lessons from them, because there are lots of lessons that we can learn how to do things better, how to not do this or do something better, right? From past experiences, and we take that to our future, that's different. Now, those past experiences are actually serving our bright future. But if we take those past experiences and hold on to these limiting beliefs because of them, now we've excluded all other future possibilities. That's when it becomes a problem. So let's take our past experiences as life lessons to bring to our infinite possibility future. So make a list of all of your limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to and release it to the universe, because those beliefs do not serve you, because you have infinite potential and possibility in your life. And if you have a story where you set free a limiting belief and you start to see major shifts in your life, or even a little shift, please share your story because your experiences, feedback, and comments really help me and my community at large. And if you like this video, please make sure to share it and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to visit all of my spiritual and holistic living tips, just go to my website at yinandyangliving.com. 고맙습니다.